Today, I wanted to talk about symptoms of energy, libido, mood, brain fog, GI disturbances, menstrual cycles, like all the things that I often hear women coming to me saying, this doesn't feel right. I feel kind of off here. And let's kind of go through things that you can change to actually shift and approach what might be going on hormonally. Let's talk about estrogen first. So estrogen is that hormone that is predominant in our first half of our cycle when we're in our fertility years. If you're in the puberty or perimenopause, it goes a little cray-cray. It goes up really fast, down really fast. And so symptoms, if your estrogen is high or low, that I think of is maybe you're having menstrual migraines, maybe you're having really painful periods, maybe you're experiencing a decrease in libido, vaginal dryness, breast tenderness, brain fog. Maybe you have been diagnosed with some bone loss as you're transitioning kind of through menopause and beyond. And a lot of that can all stem back to estrogen. Some things that we want to do if estrogen is high is we want to increase the detoxification of that estrogen, right? So DIM being probably the most common supplement that we think of, but also broccoli sprouts are going to help your liver get in there and better detoxify, giving your liver extra support by eating your bitter greens. So how do we decrease our exposure to estrogen? Well, first of all, if you are a meat eater, please make sure that whatever meat you're eating has not been loaded with hormones. Like that's an easy one, right? Ideally hormone and antibiotic free, but also we have to pay attention to the beauty products that we're using and the xenoestrogens or endocrine disruptors that we're looking at, okay? So just really clean beauty care products are a great start. Look at the ingredients. If you see fragrance in there, that's a no-go. But the other piece around estrogen, once again, if you're struggling with a loss of libido, vaginal dryness, menstrual migraines, painful periods, sometimes we also just need to bring in extra phytoestrogens. So phyto meaning plants, estrogen meaning the estrogen that's coming from those plants. And so common ones that you might know of would be primrose oil, ground flax, red clover, and quality soy. But the nice thing about bringing more phytoestrogens into your body is they actually, if your estrogen is too high, they'll help bring it down. If your estrogen is too low, it will help bring it up. And it also has a different affinity to a different estrogen receptor. And so you don't have to worry about like the not so great estrogen. We have to worry about estrogen dependent cancers and the stuff that we don't really want to talk about because it's no fun. Whereas when you're bringing in your phytoestrogens, it's going to bind to a more healthy estrogen receptor. Let's talk about progesterone. So once again, if you're having menstrual migraines, if your PMS is really extreme, you feel very, very irritable, you suffer from body aches, cramps, particularly during that PMS week. If your menstrual cycle is irregular, you're having really painful periods, you can't sleep at night, you're suffering from insomnia. Also, in that scenario, I'm thinking progesterone. What can we do to help bring those progesterone levels up? Well, cinnamon and ginger are nice places to start. In some scenarios, people add Vitex or Chase Tree Berry. It's a pretty potent supplement. It's not one that I recommend lightly, and it's one that definitely takes time. So be prepared to give it a good 3-month go. Most of the time, if you're wanting to bring in more progesterone, you do it cyclically. So it's not something you're going to be taking every day. Particularly for women in like their 40s, 50s, 60s, progesterone can really feel good and give that just like, take the edge off. Often with menstrual migraines, what's generally happening is there's a wide gap between your estrogen and your progesterone. Let's talk about testosterone a little bit. So elevated testosterone, you might have lots of energy, hard time sleeping. You can put on muscle really well, but you're struggling with cystic acne, maybe a little bit of extra abdominal weight. Maybe you've been diagnosed with PCOS. Often there's some extra hair growth on your mustache, along your jawline, nipples, abdomen, and then sometimes hair thinning or hair balding. So that's what I'm going to think of with elevated testosterone. Okay. Now, low testosterone, in that scenario, I'm thinking low energy. You can work out, and you find it really hard to actually put on muscle mass. Often your libido will be low. Your confidence might be low. With low testosterone, I'm going to associate that with not sleeping well, because our testosterone, a lot of the testosterone is produced when we're getting quality sleep. And so ways to increase your testosterone, maca powder is one of those that we think of often. But once again, if your testosterone is high, please don't add maca. We're going down the wrong pathway there. So sometimes our adrenals are tired and we can add in some supplemental DHEA in the morning. And now that's converted into testosterone. And then women will experience, oh my gosh, I do have more energy. I do have more libido. This is making a big difference. If, on the other hand, your testosterone is high, sometimes some saw palmetto can make a big difference in really upping your detoxification pathways. As a recap, I want you to trust that whatever you're experiencing in your body, it's real in your body, okay? As a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur, as someone working out in the workforce, whatever it is that you do, I want you to keep advocating for yourself, okay? There are so many solutions out there. And what I know is, yes, the nutrition makes a big difference. Find someone who this is really their specialty. But then we also get to look at, well, what are you doing and how can I support you in bringing your life alive?